Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and today we have another subscriber roster review. As always, stay till the end for the Jawa roster rating of this account. You don't want to miss it. Plus, the extra watch time really helps out the channel, so if it's something you enjoy, watching till the very end of the video really does help out. I look at the analytics and I see people don't really watch the whole videos. I started making the subscriber roster reviews like more 8 minutes instead of the original 4 to 5 minutes. And they haven't been doing well, so I think going 4 to 5 minutes is probably better. It helps gets the video out, more people will end up seeing it, and hopefully it will draw some more people in, so people have questions, or they want to slide over to the Discord to have some help joining a guild or whatever. I think it's the best strategy for me to get the information out to as many people as possible, to be as helpful as possible. Quickly, this is the second video of today. If you go back to Gutsy's video, which would be the first I recorded today, I forgot to do his Jawa roster rating, so sorry about that. But let me quickly just jump in here. Right after that, we'll notice Relic 5s, Relic Yoda. These are not the relics that I would have recommended right off the bat. Alright, we have plenty of stuff to talk about. This is a good one. Level 69 Cup, though. This is a 69 Precinct member. Let's go. All right, let me just start from the top. These are not the the relics I would have suggested. Vader, I would have had the Relic 3, and Anakin, wherever he is, I would have had a Relic 2. I know he's not at 7 stars, so it's not an option. But maybe even Relic, this Jedi Knight Revan, but you don't need this Relic 5s or this Relic 3 Yoda, especially at 1.2 million GP. People will have a couple of relics, so having that Relic 5s is not as viable as you might think, especially since I see you put a lot of clone work in. So let me just break this down from team by team, as I usually do. Bounty Hunters, you got to get these up. These are not doing well. Having that extra high offensive team and solid defensive team at 1.2 million GP is definitely super important, as well as you got to get Chewbacca for your CLS team, because you got to start churning out these high efficiency offensive teams to make sure you win every single week in Grand Arena. So good, it's 69 Bosk, but you got to get these guys up to 7 stars, gear 11, gear 12. It's definitely imperative that you work on that. Clones, you seem to have gone off really quickly. Clones are a decent team. I mean, they do good offensive firepower, but against AoEs, I mean, they don't have high banners, so they're not a team that I would have recommended going for early, though they are a fan favorite, so if this is a passion project, I have no qualms with that at all. Like I said, you got to get that Vader up to relics. Having that guaranteed 64 banners is pretty much standard at this point, so not having a Vader that can solo puts you at a disadvantage. The first, right after the rework, having that Vader solo was a real advantage, but now that it's become like the meta, like of all metas, you're at a huge disadvantage if you don't have that Vader, that guaranteed 64 banners. You have to punch up a lot higher, be more efficient on all your other battles, as well as plan to strip battles or banners on the defensive end just to make up for the lack of a Relic Vader. So I would get on that as soon as possible, or you might start falling behind against slightly more prepared players in the Grand Arena. Padme, you can get up to 7 stars if you get that Jango I talked about, up to 7 stars, which will also help you get Chewbacca. So that's why I think Jango is one of the most important early game characters. But you really got to start farming up Jedi Knight Anakin, get him up. It's good that you have Ahsoka with the Zeta, which will be helpful on this team. You already have a 6-star Kenobi, which is half the battle. Start gearing him up, start starring him up, and they'll be pretty effective together like this. Let me just quickly break it down. You have a Geonosian team. All right, you got the basic Geos team, which is all you really need. The Zeta is super helpful for that pre-taunt for defensive viability, but it's not a must super early game. It's more of it's a pretty important Zeta, but it's not like deadly necessary, if you know what I mean. So since you don't have that Vader, you have to find a way to make up banners. I always recommend Jedi Knight Revan plus Jolie Bindo, just 2-man. You get 63 banners. They have recovery, they do high damage, but you're going to need to gear them up a little bit so that they can punch towards maybe lower geared but more synergized teams to help you get rid of that. And then Bastila Shan lead with Yoda will be no problem. It's a guaranteed 63 banners for you right there. Let's see what he's farming OR. He's starting to farm up Darth Revan, which is pretty cool. Rebels. Okay, so you have Han Solo. I mean, he's a super fantastic character. You got to get your Rebels up to get your CLS plus Han Solo, which takes me back to the Bounty Hunters so that you can get them up to 7 stars. So you can have that core trio, again, just to make up offensive banners with the lack of the Darth Revan. Sith, not much going on here. Treya, if you throw that Zeta up on Treya, it'll help you clear those Geos, which will be super good for your banners. Sorry, I just got a phone call. I know that's unprofessional of me. But since you don't have Scion or Nihilus, I guess holding off on that Treya Zeta is okay. Scion and Nihilus are definitely characters that people kind of sleep on, so I would look into getting those. Okay, so I don't forget Jawa roster rating. Because the relics are on quasi good but not ideal characters, I'm going to give this I think a Jawa engineer out of Jawa. You don't even remember the order. It's been so long since I've done a Jawa roster rating. All right, Chief Nebula is the best, then engineer, then Scav, then Jawa, then Dacha. Okay, I'm going to give this an engineer. So not the best, but not terrible. A little bit above middle of the pack because the characters are useful, but there is lacking stuff. So I'm gonna give this a scavenger right in the middle because there's some core teams that you're missing, but you can get them up pretty easily, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hopefully you follow the advice. Hopefully if you have a similar account, you do kind of the stuff that I talked about.